Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. For those of you who would like to boost your immune system, which is what we've been doing, go to Alaska Chaga Tea. Remember, you get 10% off and free freight for being from the channel. And then if you'd like to learn more about the QPOs, the vaccines, Tartaria, or you just want to do some research, go to communityreviews.org. John Maddox does a great job of keeping everything updated for you there. And then if you would like to learn more about Kevin Richards' books, go into the description box, scroll all the way down. He's got it for little kids and big kids. And for great artwork, click on the links from Teo. Let's go ahead and dig into some more of the news here from Brenda. So oil prices jump above $100 a barrel. Yeah, the price has definitely been going up here. So as it says, oil price surged past $110 a barrel on Sunday evening, topping $100 for the first time in nearly 4 years, as the war in the Middle East entered its 9th day with no end in sight, and the Strait of Hormuz remained effectively closed to tanker traffic. Now, as we know, so our source, he sent some information this morning. 2020 was apparently the year when they went into like Venezuela and other places, and they cleaned them out. So as to how long it took them to clean out Venezuela, and obviously they've cleaned out Cuba. So anyway, they've done a tremendous job cleaning everything out, and they've also cleaned out Iran. I think the last vestiges of cleaning out Iran and Israel are ongoing right now. So it's as we know, Israel's being saved for last, but that's not entirely true, because to a degree, something's obviously going to happen to them at the very end, but there's a lot that has already been done in Israel to clean it out. That's all of this stuff worldwide. It's been an ongoing operation, but they are done in most countries. In most countries and in most ways, the operation is done. It's just like a mop-up thing of a few countries, primarily Iran and Israel right now. Let's go to, it's, when they actually come out with some explanation of what's been going on, like with the EVS, that's going to be a real eye-opener. And someone said, suicide weekend is going to be when they start to tell the truth about stuff. Sometimes there's no scarier thing than knowing the truth, than hearing the truth. That's the scariest thing for most people. And they can handle a good lie, even a bad lie. They just want to be lied to. And there's a lot of people out there, they do not want to know the truth about human trafficking, about the children. Anyway, moving on to Trump will not sign any bills until lawmakers pass the Save America Act. So, it says here, President Donald Trump said Sunday he will not sign any other bills until the Save America Act is passed and election integrity is secured. In a post on Truth Social, Trump also praised election integrity activist Scott Presler for his work to get the act across the finish line, noting it is widely supported among voters. The president also made it clear he wants the best version passed, which would require proof of citizenship to register to vote and voter identification. So Trump never came out and spoke to the American public as to why we were going into Iran. And if you think about it, you come to the realization that maybe what they're doing is they're just showing you, look, we don't need to come and tell you what to do or tell you what we're doing. We're just going to do whatever we want to do, which is basically what they've done all along. That's what the cabal did. They've always done what they wanted to do. It looked as though sometimes it looked like, oh, well, the president came before the American people and said, well, I just want you to know, here's what we're going to do. But their minds were already made up. They already knew what they were going to do. I think what the alliance is wanting everyone to see is just how little respect they have for us and how little they care about how we feel. They don't care how we feel about Israel. They don't care about going to war with Iran, because we don't want war with Iran. We can't stand Israel. So what? We're still going to love on Israel. So, knowing that how can I put it? They've got this 5D chess thing going on, and they've had it going on for a long time. So what exactly is it that they're really doing behind the scenes? I don't know. There's a lot they're doing, that's for sure. And so, my attitude is, I'm not going to get in a big whoop-de-doo about any of this. Not just because I got surgery coming up tomorrow, which we haven't heard from the hospital yet as to when we're supposed to be there. Anyway, that would be nice if they called. Anyhow, so, but I'm just, there's nothing I can do. They're gonna play this thing out. The best thing that I can do is pray and think positively about moving this whole thing along faster, raising my frequency. That's the best thing I can do. And so, it's so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do the best I can to just move this whole plan, keep it moving. And then let's go to this one here.
Electrician who goes to work every day and clocks in and works his butt off and tries to earn just enough to be able to, make his rent, maybe have a kid or two, put food on the table. His tax money is being used to buy other people luxury items, cars, yachts, whatever else, and is going to fund terrorism, child trafficking?
Yes, sir.
$1 trillion a year on this stuff?
$115 million an hour.
$115 million an hour. How do they get in their hands on it? What are we talking about here? Transnational organizations, criminal networks? How do they get their hands on this money?
They take advantage of antiquated government systems and processes. They go into programs that they know elected and appointed officials won't touch, and they can steal at scale. They learned a really valuable lesson. Government never runs out of money, and the probability of getting caught is virtually zero.
You're telling me that the electrician who goes to work...
Wow. So if this is the official hearing, with Senator Josh Hawley confirms $115 million an hour are being stolen from taxpayers and being used to buy luxury items, cars, yachts, fund terrorism, child trafficking. Again, $115 million per hour is stolen in taxes by fraud. Like it says, abolish the income tax. Can you imagine $115 million an hour? Whew! Damn. That's just That's just phenomenal. My word. Unfreaking believable. And then this here. 6% human meat is FDA's allowable percentage of human meat in fast food burgers. Who the hell made that stupid law? Damn. That's asinine.
FDA allows 6% for each patty of a McDonald's or fast food burger to contain human DNA. You can Google it. They allow 6%. Why are we allowing any percent? Who the hell passes these laws and these rules? And why would that ever come across to think to pass that unless they were doing something nefarious? And then I just seen a guy make a video about the McRib and how very seasonal, you know, because it only comes out for like 1 week of the year. And let's be real, those patties are mystery patties. Nobody even knows what's in them. And then he said he did a little research and he found out that the McRib patties are made in one location here in Chicago where I live at. And they disperse to every McDonald's. And they make 7, I think it's million pounds of McRibs for the 1 week. And again, let me reiterate, they're allowed to have 6% human DNA. This is insane. And then I thought of one other thing, and this could be a rumor, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody asked Jeffrey Dahmer what he craves while he was in jail, and he said McDonald's. Is this true? Because I'm nauseated right now.
Jeez. I mean, you can't make this shit up. You just can't. How in the hell, who in the hell passed an insane law that 6% human meat was allowed in fast food burgers? Who made that law? How the hell did that get passed? My word. It just blows you away. And then this one here.
We are going to break the biggest story of our career. I always say that because we keep outdoing ourselves. Where are the arrests? They're coming. Oh, they're coming. It's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's going to create a constitutional crisis. And stay tuned for that. We're already there. We're already in a constitutional crisis. Yeah, but it's different when you have it on video. Everyone knows that. Ask Nick Shirley. And it's not just me that's going to be involved. We're going to have a small army of other citizen journalists getting the same exact thing. You have to believe it for it to happen. If you believe that there won't be arrests, there won't be arrests. But if you make it happen, if you will it to happen, and if you work towards it happening, there will be arrests. And we're going to make it happen. Because this year, effective in the month of March, we're going to expose the mother. Stay tuned. O'Keefe out.
Okay. So that was James O'Keefe talking about the mass arrests. And here in the month of March, they're going to make it happen. They're going after them. They're saying, look, let's get this thing done. And so, I mean, there's nothing quite like really pushing the envelope, getting some well-known people behind a movement. And I tell you what, there's a whole lot of people that want to see the open mass arrests. And and not just that, they want to see the tribunals. And they want to see justice being done to these people. And something tells me, it's just a gut feeling on my part, but we are not that far away from major expose and disclose. Major stuff being put on TV and showing the American public and the world what they've been doing. This is going to be quite the eye opener. The ending of this movie is going to be something else. I just got a feeling. And the new peer-reviewed study confirms the COVID vaccine can induce psychiatric symptoms. No shit. I've seen it in a few people, to say the least.
I shouldn't be laughing. A new peer-reviewed study just confirmed the COVID vaccine can induce psychiatric symptoms. Let that one marinate, my friends, okay? So for 3 years, they told us we were the crazy ones, delusional, dangerous, misinformed. Meanwhile, they were running one of the world's biggest psychological fear and manipulation campaigns in human history in the name of public health. And this is just one of the many horrible things that is now showing it can induce in the body and now apparently in the mind. And they had the audacity to call it safe and effective. They gaslit half the planet. They destroyed families, cost people their jobs, their sanity, their freedoms, and now they're sliding this into a medical journal like it's no big deal. Psychiatric symptoms. Honestly, though, I think many people that took it already had those psychiatric symptoms, and the last thing they need is something that looks like it might make it worse. And this wasn't just a medical experiment. This was a social one, to see how far they could push and push you before you broke, and how much control they could take before you woke up. And it wasn't just a health campaign. It was a mass obedience drill. But now that the data's out, the lies are unraveling, and we're still standing, okay? Clear-headed. We didn't get the jab. Unapologetic. Hopefully you didn't, okay? You're not crazy. You're sane in an insane system. And that's why they fear you. Those that said no to the jab are the biggest threats to the system because we don't comply with their bullshit.
It's fact. We do not comply with their crap. And that's what frightened the shit out of them. That's why if the military had not stepped in, for those of us who refused to take the jab, we would have been rounded up. Absolutely. And then to my newly awakened souls, don't worry, your heart's out. We win. God always wins. This is on X.
Listen to me, my new awakened souls who have just awakened to the entire game and the fact that we are run by a bunch of satanic pedophiles. I understand the frustration, the anger, and everything that you feel. I went through that when I was 20, when I woke up. I'm 39 now. Eventually, you will plateau. You will realize what the truth is. And then you will take that energy and you will transmute it into something positive. Why? Because even the Bible says 365 times, do not fear. You want to know why? Because the entire matrix is fear-based. You do not want to have any fear. No, we're not going to have any nuclear wars. I don't even think nukes exist, to be honest. Hydrogen bombs, yeah, maybe, but not nukes. Because we would have probably nuked ourselves before. They just want you to think that. They want you to think that they are so powerful that you should be afraid of them. Screw them. Don't be afraid of them. Make fun of them. Laugh at them. Take their power away because they're a joke. And that's what they are. They've just convinced themselves and us that they are this magical group of people that has more knowledge than the rest of us. Fuck them, okay? Laugh at them. Klaus Schwab looks like vagina dryness. Justin Trudeau looks like the dingleberry on my cat's ass when he doesn't lick himself properly after taking a poop. Okay? We win. That is why they have to reset us so many times, because we wake up, we realize what happened, and then we send them back to hell. Okay? And it's going to happen again, except this time we won't let them reset us. So just remember, it's us, normal people versus them. And yes, just like in 2020, you're going to get those dildos who are going to fight for the Satanists, but they don't even know what bathroom to use, so fuck them, okay? And I know I shouldn't cuss a lot because I am trying to be more Christian-like, but sometimes it's just frustrating, okay? So take that frustration, take that anger, and let's transmute it into something positive. I chose to bring knowledge and all of the truth out there. Everybody needs to be speaking out. Some people will do other things, some people will do this, but collectively we're all fighting the exact same war. And it is a spiritual war. And I want you to take that spiritual armor, put it on, and know that we will win. We just need to take this energy that we all have together and transmute it towards the evils in this world instead of each other. Eventually that will happen. I mean, we have a hard time as regular people sticking together, but I know for a fact that we will stick together when the final hour comes of good versus evil. So just stick in there, my dudes. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get awesome, because now I see more people waking up. It was super lonely 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but now I can see the God's army being built against these evil dudes, and just know that good is going to come out of it. And yes, I do wear filters for my eyelashes because I think it looks awesome, and I know it just ended up on my hat. And if you're like, stop wearing filters, there, see? so much better with a filter.
It's people like that. They have a particular group that they really wake up, and they're good. They're good at it. I mean, they know how to communicate with these people, and she does a great job. And that this here, Democrats don't have morals. That's the solid. It is truth. It's like you're hardcore far left.
Liberals unalive babies by using abortion as a form of birth control, but yet you call that having morals. You liberals consider yourself feminists until a woman is a Trump supporter, then you don't give a flying fuck about her well-being, or her life. But yet you consider that having morals. You liberals again call yourselves a bunch of feminists, but allow men in women's sports, locker rooms, restrooms, etc. Yet you consider that having morals. You liberals again call yourselves a bunch of feminists during the Free Palestine era, but now that the women of Iran are actually free from a terroristic regime, you don't give a fuck about them or their well-being, but you consider that having morals. You liberals consider peacefully protesting by looting, rioting, vandalizing cars and buildings, and robbing stores, all because shit doesn't go your way, but you call that having morals. President Trump was almost assassinated how many times? And instead of giving a fuck about it, y'all scream, they missed. And y'all consider that having morals. You liberals cheered and applauded and rejoiced when Charlie Kirk was assassinated just for speaking words, yet y'all consider that having morals. I can keep going on and on and on. So sure, y'all do have morals, but your morals align more so with Satan than with God. Now have a day you deserve.
That's fact. That's a Zionist. If what you want to call morals, the way they think, the way they feel, it aligns exactly with Satan. And that this here, justice is coming, a message to Zionists. I think they're getting their just desserts over there.
Message to the Zionists of the world who fear you. Y'all ain't shit. Like, you guys are going to be in jail. Justice is going to come. One way or the other. Like, we already won this fight. It's war. Before time even started. These oppressive systems, these oppressive ideas, always have the seeds of their own destruction in them. They foment their own destruction. They bring it upon themselves. They motivate people to stand against them. The same way that the power of the U.S. empire motivates the rest of the world to stand against us. And that one day our empire will surely fall. We won't last forever. And it's already written. And it's the same way for Palestine. You have a brutal, terrible system that has no right to exist, right? That is illegitimate. And it always would lead to a resistance against it that would topple it. And that is what's coming for Israel. That is what's coming for the Zionists of the world, the Zionists at the heads of all these mega corporations who made hundreds of billions of dollars off of carrying out genocide. That they didn't care about, that they were committed to because either they are Zionists themselves or it's just profitable for them. They will have their day at, a Nuremberg trial, but for Palestine, for Palestinians, to start bringing some semblance of justice. And, we won't forget about any of the politicians who worked with Israel, who played, coverage for them, who took money from AIPAC or any of the Israeli lobbies, or any of these billionaires who are warmongers. They will all be held accountable. They will all end up in prison. And so, I think I would be scared if I were a Zionist, right? Just like Nazis were scared as Nazi Germany fell. Yep. That is what's coming for you, and we will see you when that day comes.
A lot of Zionists have already fled to the Ukraine. At some point, as I understand it, Israel got surrounded, and by the U.S. and maybe Russia too, who knows. Anyway, so they got surrounded so that nobody could leave. Nobody could come in, nobody could leave. And I will stay with what I've been saying. I have no doubt that Israel is being searched house by house, tunnel by tunnel for these pedophiles. They're going to wipe them out completely. And yes, Zionism is going to be done in, I believe. And then this here, Gitmo expansion. As we know, this has been going on for years. I remember Catherine Herridge reporting on camera 5 years ago from Gitmo showing expansion in progress. Now this is on Instagram.
And it's not for terrorists. You weren't supposed to notice. On February 7, 2026, the Pentagon approved $500 million for emergency construction at Guantanamo Bay. Not renovation, expansion. 89 new holding cells, 3 new courtrooms, a medical wing, and a communications blackout facility that did not exist before. For 20 years, they told you Gitmo was winding down. Obama tried to close it. Biden forgot it existed. Trump just tripled its capacity. The question is, who is it for? The tribunals have started. January 15, 2026, Trump signed Executive Order 14189, reactivating military tribunal authority for civilian cases involving national security. The media didn't cover it. Not one headline. This means civilians can now be tried by military courts if their crimes involve treason, trafficking, or espionage. We have discussed this on our Eyes on Gitmo and Global Defense War military and intelligence panels. No jury, no plea bargains, no 10-year appeals. Military justice at military speed. The flight logs. Since February 1st, 47 flights have departed Andrews Air Force Base to Gitmo. Not military rotations, charter flights, unmarked, unscheduled, manifests, classified. February 1 to February 2, February 1, 2 flights, 14 passengers. February 8th, 3 flights, 22 passengers. February 14th, 1 flight, VIP configuration, 4 passengers only. February 19th, 4 flights, 31 passengers, largest single day. February 22nd, 2 flights, departed at 3:17 a.m. Who flies to Gitmo at 3 in the morning? February 25th, 3 flights, still ongoing. 47 flights, 200 plus passengers over a 25-day period. You connect the dots. January 31st, Epstein files, 318 names. February 7th, Gitmo expansion, $500 million US. February 12th, Norway Prime Minister charged. February 15th, Goldman Sachs lawyer resigns. February 19th, Prince Andrew arrested. Same day, 4 flights to Gitmo. February 22nd, El Mencho eliminated. 2 flights at 3 a.m. February 24th, Lord Mandelson arrested, fleeing to airport. February 25th, Trump said, quote, "Justice is coming." Every resignation, every arrest, every flight connected. 327,000 sealed indictments. The normal annual average, 1,000. There are currently 327,000 in the federal court system, 327 times more than normal. They're not building courtrooms for terrorists. They're building them for traitors. The tribunals are not coming. They've already begun. Pay attention to who stops posting, who cancels appearances, who suddenly retires. And folks, this has been going on a long time. But now it's documented, official, and being released, at least here. The walls are closing in. There is no escape. dark to light. Nothing can stop what's coming.
You know, when you start to connect the dots, and it's not too hard to do, that's when you realize that these tribunals have been going on for a long time, all around the world, everywhere. It's just massive, absolutely a massive operation. My goodness. And let's see what time we have here. I'm going to end it right there. I want to thank you all for your support, and thank you for supporting the sponsors of the channel. Greasy's Garage up in Worcester, Bears Products, CommunityReviews.org, Alaska Chaggy Tea, Tales Artwork, and Kevin Richards Books. God bless you all and have a great day. Bye-bye now.